get some more with Democratic Senator Chris Coons of Delaware. Senator, thanks so much for joining us. As you know, after emerging from the caucus lunch, the Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, said that Democrats want a framework by the end of this week. Is that realistic? Are you going to have a deal by Friday?
Well, if I'm optimistic that we will get to President Biden's desk both the bipartisan infrastructure plan and a series of policies in his Build Back Better plan that will come through the Senate and through the House, whether it'll be the end of this week or later this month, I think is less important than what is in these policies, what is in these bills. The Build Back Better plan that will reduce costs for working families, provide support for things like daycare, pre-K education, lower health care costs, and a robust middle-class tax cut that allows the whole bill to also be paid for so it doesn't add to the deficit, paired up with an infrastructure bill that'll create 650,000 new high-skilled, high-wage jobs, revitalizing our economy and investing in our infrastructure. That's a great agenda that Democrats can get behind, that we can support, that we can run on next year. And today, President Biden, through personal, lengthy engagement with both progressives and moderates, demonstrated his skills and his ability to bring us together. There's a renewed sense of urgency in my caucus about getting this done and getting it done soon.
As you know, in order to get this deal, the president is now making some very, very serious concessions, especially to the moderates. CNN has learned that the president told the progressives today over at the White House that tuition-free community college, 2 years tuition-free community college, is likely to be dropped from the final package. That's a major concession, a blow to progressives. Is that a provision the president should be willing to trade away?
Well, if I would look at this bill less as what is being cut than what we're going to advance, because I'll remind you, under President Trump, under Majority Leader Mitch McConnell in the previous Congress, no one would be having a serious conversation about investing hundreds of billions of dollars in providing things like support for better quality and more affordable daycare or support for pre-K. So my personal favorite, as you know, is expanding AmeriCorps in order to give younger Americans the chance to earn a college opportunity through national service. There are many, many proposals in this mix. And at the end of the day, Democrats are going to come together against reducing the costs that keep average working families up at night and making investments that'll help people get back to work and grow our economy. That's what we're going to come together around.
You need Senator Kyrsten Sinema, as you know. You need Joe Manchin as well. Senator Sinema was notably absent from the meeting today. She was over at the White House instead. Do you think she should have been there, given that she's one of these two Democrats holding things up dramatically right now?
I think it's important for the President of the United States, who ran on someone who can bring our country together and move us forward, to be investing the kind of time he's been investing in getting us over the finish line and getting this package of his policy proposals embraced by our entire caucus. And if that means spending time with both moderates and progressives in person at the White House, that's the kind of leadership I've come to expect from President Biden. And I'm very optimistic this will move us forward.
One thing I don't understand, and maybe Senator Coons, you can explain it to me. Why is he meeting separately with the moderates and separately with the progressives? Why not bring all of them in the room and tell them, go up to Camp David. We're working this out. We're all going to get together right now.
Well, if I think later this week, you'll see some of those closing the gap conversations. But initially, I think it was important this week to be clear about the range of policies, about the size of the bill, and about the path forward. And sometimes those judgments are best made by someone like President Biden, who has spent decades as a legislative leader here in the Senate of the United States. And frankly, you know, for those who haven't sat with the president one-on-one or in a group in the Oval Office, it has a certain persuasive impact. And I think he's using that to its best impact and its best effect today and this week.
We'll see what happens. All right, Senator Coons, as usual, thanks to you as well.